Oh, hey David. I decided to try something different. I set up my stream using my streaming software, so I don't know if it's going to be good or not. Need the camera to focus in on this. There it goes. Let's see here. I don't want it quite that long. Let's cut that off a little bit. Let's see if I can move this. You can see that there. Come on. Trying to get my camera to stay focused on the fly. I'll take some pink flash right here. This stuff right here. And take a few strands. Right here and cut a few strands off. Sorry y'all, trying to get this camera to focus better on the fly. Come on, let's focus up, buddy. Alright. I'm gonna grab some pink eyes and throw in there, y'all. I don't know why the camera's not staying focused on the fly itself. Try that and see. Alright, just gonna take some pink eyes right here. Set them on top of the hook. Oops, if I can get them to stay on there. That's the way it looks right there. Some pink eyes on there. I'm gonna throw a little bit of glue on top of that. Hit that with an ultraviolet light. Just kind of like a shrimpy looking fly, y'all. Like a little shrimp pattern. Alright, let's grab a white. Let's grab a white feather here. Alright, cut off some of these little extra little hairs sticking up. While I'm thinking about it, go ahead and throw a little bit of glue right here over the eyes. Just over that thread. Hit that with the ultraviolet light. Alright, we're going to throw a little bit of a white crack wrap. What's my thoughts on vegans? Well, I mean, that's people's choice right there, I guess. Alright, let's go ahead and throw some white crack wrap, y'all. We're just going to get see if you can see it. Some white crack wrap right here. You only need a couple of inches of it. Cut that off. We'll get that started. This crack wrap is not in the best shape for some reason. Just gonna lay that right there and then wrap it up. Just a very simple little shrimpy looking fly. Guess my cat has a hairball, y'all. Alright. Go ahead and tie this one off. Tie her right here. Hit that with a little bit of glue, just over that thread to keep it from unraveling. And then we'll take ultraviolet light and hit that thread with ultraviolet light, and that'll dry it up really quick. Yeah, Shannon, that's so when I started tying, what I did, I went on eBay, and people are always selling, people might quit tying flies or something like that. So you can go on eBay and find where people have stopped tying flies and then buy like a whole bunch of stuff at one time. So y'all, we're just gonna trim. Try to get on camera. Just gonna trim this white crack wrap down a little bit. Just trimming that crack wrap down just a hair. And that is pretty much, it's just a little quick little shrimpy pattern, y'all. Very easy little fly to tie. Let's move on to something else. Let me put up this little bit of stuff. For those of you that don't know, I know a lot of y'all watch my streams a lot, but for those of you that don't know, I'm a fishing guide down in Louisiana. I do fly fishing and regular spinning rod fishing for saltwater, like redfish and all that kind of stuff. So, and fall and winter is the busy season. So I've got, I don't know, a couple of hundred flies, but never hurts to tie more. So tie some more flies up real quick. Alright, let's tie another one, y'all. And y'all, I normally stream when I do these. I'll just stream with my phone, but I got on my OBS software, my streaming software, and figured out how to do vertical streams with my streaming software. So I'm trying that for the first time, because I normally just do these with my phone, but I thought I would try it on the OBS software. Alright, let's let's do something a little bit different color. Come on. I'm trying to get this to focus in. There it goes. Alright. Let's see. Can never go wrong with some chartreuse. You know what they say, if it's not chartreuse, it's not any use, or whatever they say. All right, let's do some chartreuse on here. Start off with some chartreuse eyes. So we'll just put a thread base right here around the eye. Little thread base right there. Oh, hey, Mr. David. Hey. Alright, y'all. This is what they consider a large size eye right here, so this fly is going to sink a little faster. We'll go ahead and get a few wraps on it in one direction to get it started, and then get some wraps in the other direction to you want it to be 90 degrees or whatever, like a right angle with the hook. Alright, and once you got that started on there pretty good, now you just do cross wraps. We're going under the hook. Let me go ahead and pull it some that way. Under the hook and over the eye in one direction, then under the hook and over the eye in the other direction, just like that. And I don't have a set amount. You just want to get it on there good and tight. Now what we're going to do, y'all, we're going to go with the thread under the eye and over the hook and do these little cross wraps. That's going to make like a these little helicopter wraps. That's just going to tighten those cross wraps down. Dang it, I'm missing my hook because I got it at an angle for y'all to see, and I keep missing my spot. It should be pretty tight. Now we'll just take and go down the hook again with a thread base down the hook. That'll be good enough. Alright, let's go ahead and throw some glue. I'm trying to get this thing to zoom in on the fly itself. Alright, let's go ahead and throw some glue over these threads right here where we put the eye on there. And now we'll hit that with ultraviolet light to dry those. That'll be good enough for now. Alright. Let's grab tell you what, we'll grab some purple. So we're gonna get a big old, this is the hairline, as you can tell, a big old purple deer tail right here. And we're just going to cut off a piece of deer tail. So we just cut off a piece of purple deer tail right here. And then I just kind of pull off any little strands right there. We'll set that on top of the fly, and at first we're going to get some loose wraps. To kind of get it started. And then go ahead and hit it with some tighter wraps on there. It kind of spun on me a little bit. If it spins on you a little bit, usually you can go ahead and spin it back until you get it super tight. There we go. Later in a little bit, when we add a little bit of glue to it, you won't be able to spin it like that anymore, really. So, alright, so if you can see, we got a little tail right there. I don't know why it keeps getting out of focus, everybody. Alright. We are going to add some purple. Which I just had. There it is. Just had my purple before I started streaming, but we're gonna grab some purple flash. And it is a wreck. As you can see, I've got a bunch of it, but just from using it all the time, this stuff is a wreck. I need to brush it out or something. But anyway, we'll grab we're going to grab a few strands of it, cut that off. So we got some purple right here, y'all. We're going to put that under the thread like this right here, and then I'm going to fold it. I'm going to grab it like that with my fingers, and then we're going to put it on top of the hook and kind of get a few wraps to get it started. And then we're going to take and pull it down parallel with the rest of the material right here, and go ahead and wrap it up. Just added a little purple flash to our fly right there. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of gold and do the same thing. And my gold flash is really looking rough from using the heck out of it all the time. Let's see, I got more of it, but I'm trying to use all this up. Alright. So let's see. So we're just going to add some little short pieces of gold right here for the same thing we just did. A little bit of gold on the fly. Right there, y'all. Alright. Now, let's grab some, let's throw some legs on this thing, y'all. Let's see. We'll grab some purple crazy legs right here. Yeah, I can sew, I guess, if I have to, y'all. Alright, we're going to grab some crazy legs right here, y'all. If you bass fish and stuff, it's basically spinnerbait material. It's the same thing as spinnerbait material. And I'm just going to grab two of these off of here and just kind of unsnap them off like that right there. So we have two little crazy legs. I want this chartreuse part to be sticking out, so I'm going to double this over. And we're going to lay this on top of the fly. Go ahead and get some wraps on it. Now we're going to cut off, obviously, this little excess part right here at the top. And then right here, where it is doubled over like this, like I said, I want the chartreuse to show, but we're not going to leave it that long, so we're going to kind of cut that off, just like that, y'all. Y'all can see. Just puts little, just gives the fly a little bit more action. All right, now we're gonna grab some 1.5 minnow head brush right here in a purple color. This is called Misty Purple. Just the color on it. So if you don't tie flies, you might not know this, but there's a wire that runs down in the middle of this stuff right here. So we're just going to cut off a couple of inches right here. So I've got my piece of minnow head brush right here, y'all. We'll take and just get that started on the fly. I know I'm using white thread, but it kind of helps y'all to see it, and the fish aren't really going to care about that. So what's my sinker? So y'all, down here in Louisiana, the only time I really use sinking line is when I'm offshore. If we're fishing offshore for big, cobia and jack crevalle, stuff like that, that's the only time I really throw a sinking line on my fly rod. The rest of the time I'm throwing either a floating line or an intermediate line. And because we're fishing mostly for big old giant redfish, and they'll be in super shallow water. A lot of times their back's sticking out of the water and all that. All right, y'all, so what we're going to do, we're going to wrap this minnow head brush, but as we wrap it, we're going to keep this material pulled back towards the back of the fly. And just start wrapping that up, going from the back to the front of the fly. And as we wrap, we're just keeping that stuff pushed back towards the back of the fly, y'all. Now we're going to take and just kind of cut off this last little piece of scrap. So I just get a couple of wraps on there to hold it, like that. We'll go ahead and cut off this little piece of scrap right there, and then we'll wrap it up. So the fly looks decent right there, but we're not quite done with it. I mean, this right here will definitely catch a fish, but we're not done. We're going to add a little bit of black right at the front of it. So I'm going to grab some black crack wrap, if I can find it. It should be right here in front of me somewhere. Well, it's not really black, it's almost black. It's got a little bit of purple highlights and stuff in it. So we're going to grab a couple of inches of this black crack wrap. And we're going to get it started. We're going to get the crack wrap started right there. and then wrap it up. North Carolina, East Coast. I get a lot of people, well, from all over the world and all over the country down here fishing, but I just had some people from North Carolina not too long ago. Alright, y'all, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. You want to try to keep the crack wrap pushed back towards the back of the fly. Sometimes this stuff has a mind of its own and it goes towards the front. If it does, it's not a big deal. I mean, honestly, the fish aren't going to care, you know. They're going to eat it either way. But if you're trying to make it look cool, you know, then you want to keep it all nice and neat looking. But the fish are going to eat it either way. You pull this thing in front of a 25-pound bull red, he's going to smoke it. All right, let's go ahead and get some wraps on this right here to tie it off. As y'all can see, it's kind of coming together right there. Alright, we're just going to cut off a couple of these little extra little thread things hanging around right here, y'all, and then we'll tie it off, and that'll be the end of that fly. These are what we call guide flies, y'all. I mean, they're very, very simple to make, and they work, you know. For those of you who don't know, if you're new to the stream, I'm a fishing guide down here in Louisiana. So if y'all want to book a trip, y'all can go to my website. It's gripandletsfishing.com. And I've got 7 or 8 days left open in September, I think, that's not booked. October, same thing, maybe 6 or 7 days in October that's not booked. November is pretty much almost all the way full. I think I've only got 3 days open in November. December, I still have about half the month open, but December always fills up. It's a great time of year to fish during December, so if you want to come down here, it's not hot. The fish are eating like crazy during December, and we're down here catching giants. So if you want to book in December, it's a great time to go. All right, Johnson, of course. It's Fraggle. It's a Fraggle, man. It's a Fraggle Rock. All right, this is my buddy Johnson, y'all, supporting the channel, showing the channel some love. Alright, we'll hit this with ultraviolet light right here, y'all. That just dries that glue that we just put on there. It also makes a cool, it looks like it's, like, if you go close, it looks like it's from Chernobyl or something. But anyway, alright, we're going to hit that with ultraviolet light, dry that glue real quick. And just another quick little easy guide fly, y'all. If you want, you could take and cut some of this black away. You know, you can trim up some of that black. All that's really preference, y'all. But you can trim your flies down, trim up a little bit, make it look cool. Alright, y'all, quick easy little LSU colored fly. Alright, let's tie something else. I know I'm just kind of flying through some flies, y'all. Let me put up some of this material right here that I'm not using. All right, so for those of you that want to see the kind of hooks, I use the Umpqua, it's a saltwater. I'm trying to get the zoom in. It's a 3/0 hook. Anyway, that's what I use. That's my favorite. Super strong. It'll definitely hold those big giant bull reds. That's the curve on it. I like the curve. Do you have to have a fishing license freshwater? Yes. Once you turn, at least down here in Louisiana, once you turn 18, you have to have a fishing license. Alright. Let's do another one, y'all. I think just for the heck of it, that's hilarious. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not. I put a little music on in the background, but it might have. Did it shut off on me, y'all? I had put a little music in the background, but I don't know if it's working or not. I was just trying that for today. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna find some thread real quick, y'all. We're gonna do another one. Let's do a big black and red fly, y'all. I use these big black and red flies for these big giant bull reds down here, and they eat them up. So let's tie one of those. So what we're going to do, you're going to take your little bobber thingy right here, set that on there like that. Then you take the little threader thingy and put that down through the bobber thingy and thread it up. Of course, I'm not going to be able to see to do this, but we're going to try it. I'm getting old, y'all. My eyes are going, but I think I got it. Alright, and then go ahead and pull the look at that. It came off and I went to pull it up through there. The hardest part of tying the fly, y'all, getting the daggum thread through the bobber. Alright. Got it. Alright, yay. Yay, we got it started. Alright. Sorry about that, y'all. Thank you, Pick. Alright, let's go ahead and get some. What is going on with my bobber? go ahead and get some thread started on here, y'all. If y'all are new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. More people will watch it if y'all do that. Help me out a lot. You know what? I'm gonna go with a black. I was gonna go with a. Let's see if I got some black eyes in here. I think I do. Yeah. I had bought some black eyes just for these black and red flies right here. Let's grab those, y'all. So we're about to tie a big old honking bull red fly, y'all. Alright, so let's lay the eyes over the hook and get a few wraps in one direction just to hold it, so it's kind of sitting there, but it's all lopsided right now. So now what you're going to do is take and do some wraps in the opposite direction to get it sitting on there at a good 90-degree angle. And once you think you got it lined up and ready to roll, then you just start doing cross wraps on it, y'all. So we're wrapping under the hook and over the eye in one direction, and then under the hook and over the eye in the opposite direction. That's a pretty good. Sorry, y'all. I guess my dogs are going crazy. Alright, let's go ahead and wrap. Do some helicopter wraps right here. And then go ahead and wrap it on down the fly. Just like that, get a little thread base on there. Alright, same as usual, y'all. We're going to add a little bit of thread, or a little bit of glue to the thread right here on the eyes. Hit that with the ultraviolet light. And dry that up. Thank y'all for watching. If y'all are new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, all that stuff. Alright, y'all. So we are tying a big old black and red fly, everybody. Especially if I can find the stuff to do it. Found it. Sorry, y'all, I've got a ton of material, so sometimes I have to dig around for it. So we're going to grab a little black deer tail right here, and that's just going to kind of be the base of our tail, or of our fly. So we're just going to take and cut off like a little chunk. So you got like a little chunk right here, y'all, deer tail. And I'm gonna wrap it loosely at first. Kind of hold it on there. And I'm gonna go back and tighten it up. So that's what it's looking like right now, y'all. Just a black tail on there, y'all. All right. I'm gonna grab some flash. I'm gonna grab some flash and throw in there. I'm gonna use some gold flash on this thing. So I'm gonna grab some gold flash right here, y'all. Cut off several strands of gold. Alright, so what you want to do, take your flashing and kind of run it up under your thread like that, and pull it up and kind of hold it up out of the way just like that. And now we're going to get a few wraps to kind of get that stuff started on there just like that. And now we're going to pull it down parallel with the tail of your fly so it stays, and get some more wraps on it, y'all. So this is what it's looking like right now. We threw some gold on that flash. A lot of this gold is about to kind of be covered up, and then you're just gonna kind of see it shining through the rest of the fly. So I'm trying to find some black and red feathers right here, y'all. Y'all, you know you got a bunch of fly tying stuff and it's hard to find anything. Alright, I found them. Found them. Alright. You know what, I'm gonna cut a little bit of that gold off. I don't think I want quite as much gold. It's not going to hurt anything just to cut some of that off. Let's see. I think I went a little gold crazy there. All right, now we're going to take and put some black on there, y'all. I mean, not black. some like black and, well, it's got some black shade to it, but like a little bit of red flash to it. If you see it up close, it's kind of black and red, but I'm just going to put a little bit of this. A little bit of this on there. Add a little red flash to our fly. Same thing we just did with the gold. Alright, so that's kind of how it's looking right there. I wish it would stay focused on the fly for y'all. There it goes. Alright, now we're going to add our feathers to it. So I'm going to grab some black right here, some black, whatever you call it, feathers, whatever they call it, saddle hackle, which is a weird name for feathers, but alright, and we're going to grab 2 of them. So I'm grabbing 2 saddle hackle feathers like this right here, and we're not going to, obviously you're not going to need the whole thing, but we're going to put 1 on each side of the fly. Let me kind of get them around the same length. Because you do not need, I mean, this is a big fly, but you don't need the whole feather, obviously. So somewhere right around in there would do. Cut off those ends so we have 2 pieces of saddle hackle. Now what we're going to do is put 1 on each side. Put 1 on each side of the fly right here. Just to get those kind of started like that. Now we're going to take some black and red saddle hackle, right here, and do the same thing, y'all. So I'm going to grab 2 black and red saddle hackles. I kind of like finding one that's got some little stripes and stuff in it, like this one does. So now I've got 2 black and red saddle hackles right here, y'all. Feathers. For all you normal people out there, feathers. Just cutting off. We don't need the whole thing. We're going to do the same thing we just did with the black, y'all. Again, we don't need this whole thing, so we're going to shorten those up. This right here, besides big bull reds, also be a really good fly for Jack Crevalle or any big fish like that, any big game fish, saltwater or freshwater. Alright, now we're almost done. We're going to add some body to this fly, and that'll be pretty much it after that. This is how it's looking right here. Right here, y'all. One little eyebrow going on right there. I'll show y'all a little, if I can find the stuff right here, show y'all a little trick. I might not be able to find the exact stuff to do it. Let's see. Alright, now we're going to take one piece of saddle hackle. We're going to wrap that around. So I've got one feather right here. And y'all always cut off this thick part of the feather right here because it's going to be hard to wrap. This is probably going to be the last one I've tied today, y'all. I've done, I think, 3 or 4 flies. But I'm going to take a little bit of a break after this. So now we're just going to wrap. Wrap this saddle hackle around. Give the fly a little bit of body. We're going to tie that off. And the fly is totally usable right there, but I'm going to do one more thing to it. I'm grabbing some really thick, I think it's deer. I'm grabbing some really thick fur right here. Show y'all a little thing. We're going to lay this on top like that. We're going to start wrapping it, and now we're going to let go of it. It's going to give it like a little bad hair day right there at the front. I'm going to roll it over. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I gotta cut some of that off right there on the bottom. Just gives it like a poofy little front right there, y'all. Adds a little black, little black contrast to that red right there. All right, let's go ahead and tie this one off. Tie this one off with our tire off thingy. Hit that again. Hit that with some glue real quick, y'all. Always make sure the eye's not covered with glue. Just not. Hit that with ultraviolet. Alright, y'all. Big old honking bull red fly. That's what that is. So it's got a little bit of red and gold shiny on the honey right there. Then we threw some black deer tail on it for a body. We threw some black feathers on there, 2 of those, and then 2 red and black feathers. Then we threw another red and black feather around it right here for like a little bit of body, and then we tied some black deer hair right here around the front just to kind of poof it out and give it a bad hair day and make it contrast with that red. Sling that out there, y'all. Strip that in front of a big bull red and hold on tight. Let them eat it up. Alright, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. I'll probably go live again tonight. Thank y'all for everything.